What's going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to come back to you and bring you a video about a white man who walked into a black club and started calling people the N word. Now, this white man was beaten and stripped naked for calling people the N word. And again, I'm not condoning it, but I understand to a degree, that kind of stuff is probably going to happen, especially around a bunch of people that don't really have self-control. I mean, again, imagine if that were the other way around. Just imagine if that were the other way around. Again, the white guys that beat him and stripped him and everything else, they would be called racist. You can't do that to a black man. He was drunk. Just because he would have then called you names and everything else, you can't do that. That's a hate crime. Now, when it comes to a white man doing that to black people like Roland, they're okay with it for the most part. But guys, we'll show you a news clip of what happened, and then I'm going to show you Roland's response. Watch.
In Holly Springs, Mississippi, folks there aren't taking any racist mess, and now a viral video is showing exactly what went down when a drunk white man rolled up and brought the wrong injury to the wrong spot. The video now making the rounds on social media shows the white man getting beaten, stripped, butt naked, and robbed outside CJ's Lounge, a well-known black club in town. Here's how the local affiliate Fox 13 reported this story.
Video surfaces of a man police say might have been a victim of a hate crime. This happened after officers say an intoxicated man walked into a Marshall County club and used the N-word when referring to the patrons.
Investigators say that the bar is also a problem spot. They say that they respond to it several times every weekend.
Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson is live outside CJ's Lounge on Memphis Street in Holly Springs. So, Daniel, how is this man police are calling a victim?
Daryl and Darcy, good evening to you. Good evening to you at home. They say he didn't go to the hospital until today. He believes he may have a broken jaw. Meanwhile, CJ's Lounge is now closed. Police say that they were operating without a beer or a business license.
Holly Springs police say cell phone footage they provided to Fox 13 News shows a Tippah County man who has been stripped naked. They say the people who attacked him are seen pouring on him what investigators believe to be beer. Officers say seconds before, they hit, kicked, and stumped nearly every part of his body.
The guy walked in and he was very aggressive.
Miles Stone says he was at CJ's Lounge on Memphis Street late Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Other guys in the area was listening, trying to remain calm. We asked them, they asked for him to leave quietly.
But police say the man continued to call the patrons the N-word. Holly Springs police provided another video of the man outside the bar, speaking erratically, throwing what investigators believe to be gang signs.
When they was scuffling and stuff outside, he was still trying to fight. He still was saying the N-word, N-word. Man, F-U-Ns, F-U-Ns.
Officers say the attackers used poles and sticks to beat him.
So you don't think this is a problem spot?
I do not think. I think it's a positive spot.
But Holly Springs police disagree. The police chief estimates they've been to some 30 calls over the last 3 months CJ's has been open. They say there have been fights, guns found inside, and a man shot in the foot. The chief tells me they're pushing the district attorney to declare it a nuisance.
I'm not standing for anything like that. However, we have to live with our choices, and he made a choice by going into there aggressively, and he has to live with the choice he's made.
Back out live here in Marshall County. Again, you're taking a look at that letter that was placed on the door. We should mention that police tell us right now they have a person of interest who they would like to speak with. Meanwhile, if you were here, you have information, you're asked to call the Holly Springs Police Department. Well, what does the victim remember about what happened? I'm working on that part of the story for Fox 13 News at 6.
Can we be honest, guys, man? There's no such thing as a positive fight. No such thing. Again, man, this would be considered racist If it were, a black guy. If it were some black guy, they'd be like, oh, these are racist white people. Could they tell the guy was drunk? And again, man, they beat him up and stomped on him and stripped him naked and everything else. Yeah. Again, man, because the guy was white, that's okay. And again, people like Roland Martin and his moronic crew, that's what they believe. They believe, it's more justified because the guy that was beaten was white. And again, he said the boo-boo word. You can't say that word. You can't say that word. And, again, yeah, they can. People can say that word. But what you can do, what you cannot do under the law is attack somebody physically for it. Now, I'm not saying what the guy did was right. But I'm saying black people, again, as usual, were wrong. Definitely handled that wrong. And again, the cops said that in the past 3 months, that since that bar has been opened, they've had, 30 calls? Come on. Come on. We all know that the black people that commit crimes, violent crimes, and many times are rate of whites. Again, if you're a white man, you're 12 times more likely to be attacked by a black person than if you're black to be attacked by a white person. But guys, let's hear what Roland Martin had to say. Watch.
I'm just saying, Matt.
Thanks for letting me go first, Roland. Thanks for letting me go first. Because I just went to CJ's Lounge while this was playing on Facebook, and they have some footage up of him coming in, acting a fool. It's a lot of black people there. I don't know if that part of the surveillance footage cut out. It may not be there. I don't know. But it sounds to me like it might be a lot of not guilties. I'm not going to advocate for violence ever, but I will say that a lot of times, as even prosecutors will say, some people got what's coming to them, and this sounds like a situation where he went looking for a problem, created a problem. They're going to try to make it a hate crime because obviously the very salient racial issue. But, jokes aside, I mean, if you go into this club, it's a primarily black club. You go in there, you're throwing around, the most vitriolic racial epithet for black people, generally speaking. I mean, what do you expect is going to happen? And the CJ's Lounge is already mounting its defense, saying the police are not showing you what really happened. In that 20 seconds that I watched, he went in, started dancing. Nobody was bothering him. Didn't look like anybody was even surprised he was there. So I think it's really important to see what fully transpired, because what I anticipate is that we're going to learn that this person was either high or intoxicated, came into this place, started a problem. And, I don't know if they're going to prosecute it, but I know that these kinds of situations are obviously pretty nuanced. And the way the news is reporting it is they want the clicks, right? They want people to be commenting on something that's in the national zeitgeist now because it's gone viral. But
I'm sure it was drunk. But the fact of the matter is, man, again, if it were the other way around, you guys know that you have a problem with it. A big problem. Again, that would just, seal the deal about how racist white people are. If that were the other way around. But, them being black, again, you're trying to justify it in whatever way you can.
Are no issues, right? I mean, similarly to Matt, I think I'm a fundamentally nonviolent person, and I do not think all violence is equal. And by that, I mean, the violence of our ancestors who were enslaved, rebelling during the Nat Turner's rebellion against their enslavers is very different than the violence of the white enslavers denying their humanity in the first place. Not all violences exist on the same moral or immoral plane and spectrum. And so, I'm not an anarchist. I'm a nonviolent person. I don't relish this, but I'm also thinking that people need to move the way they need to treat others the way they want to be treated. How about that?
Here, exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, again, this harebrained bitch that's on the show with Roland, again, a class act. A class act. It's like, why? I'm a nonviolent person. No, you're not. No, you are not. Bitch, you are not a nonviolent person. Not at all. Again, you're morally justifying or trying to separate, white violence and black violence. Again, you're trying to morally justify what happened to this white man. How dare him go to the club and use the N-word? How dare him? Why don't you look at yourselves? You're nasty, you're violent people that commit crimes. I'm not saying all black people, but there are so many that commit crimes and many times the rate of white people on average, of Asian people. And again, they try to morally justify, again, we have slavery. So again, they justifies people. I mean, he used the N-word. He told people the N-word. Again, trauma. That unlocks some trauma in me. Again, you're should be grateful we didn't kill him. Again, that is the mindset. And that is truly what is dangerous. And truly what is idiotic. And again, you can't have that kind of thinking in a civilized society. Can't.
You campaigning for an ass whipping and you about to get elected.
Without a doubt. I mean, so we talked about this before. White privilege makes people sometimes think that they got superpowers, right? That you could just go into spots and that you're going to be able to do things that you saw on TV.
Okay, let's talk about white privilege. There ain't no white privilege. I mean, again, it does not exist, but there is black privilege. Oh, yeah, there is. I mean, again, you can say whatever you want to say. You can do whatever you want to do. And again, you're justified because your great-great-grandpappy was a slave. But in Jim Crow, my great-great-uncle lived in Georgia during Jim Crow. Oh, goddamn, shut up. Shut the hell up. And again, you're justified to yell at me right now for what I'm saying. You're probably justified, again, you think you are, to commit violence towards me. Because again, I'm expressing, hey, look, you have all this privilege to say and do what you want. And if you're a white person, oh my God. And again, you dare to complain about anything at all. Yeah, well, again, you would have so much worse if you were black. Now, I'm going to take my black ass over to my, $10 million house or whatever. And you think about how good you have it. Because you're white. You think about that. Well, you go back and live in your trailer. And again, you can't say anything about anything because, again, you have all the power because you're white. well, can I borrow some money to, because I misplaced my power?
That pull that shit on TV. That's fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Do that in real life, your ass gonna get beat in real life. Just letting y'all know. So I'm just saying, my man, he walked up to the wrong spot. You see they sitting there talking to him. You see he's talking to some other brother right there, and you can see them hand movements, and you see you see that. See, we can't even hear, but you see that neck movement, and the brother look at him like, dog, really? You see the one brother on the left trying to put his arm like, say, dog, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, player. You don't want to do that. I'm just telling you. See the brother on the right, the left going, hey, man, get his ass out of here. And then you see how many people are filing out. They like, some shit is about to go down. Let me get my ass out of here because this white boy's about to get his ass whooped. Y'all can tell what's going on. They sitting here like, say, man, you might want to calm down, bro, because this ain't going to end too well for you. I mean, look, y'all see that they throwing the trash out. They know what's about to happen. What's about to go? He ain't putting his finger up. He ain't putting his finger up. So then he goes outside. And let's see here. That's the end of the video. He walked his ass back in. And right there is when, and then he pushed the brother. And that's when hashtag Team Whip That Ass made an appearance. So, can't wait to see the full video. But I'm just saying, my advice to all white people. Don't roll into black spots yelling the N-word. You're not going to get a welcoming committee. Oh, matter of fact, you will get a committee, but it won't be a welcoming committee.
Instead of telling white folks, don't go into black areas and use the N-word. And again, most white people don't use the N-word. Especially around black people. But instead of wasting your words of wisdom, and I use that term very loosely, telling white folks what they should and shouldn't do, why don't you look in the mirror and be honest? You ought to tell black folks, look, man, we're 13% of the U.S. population. Yet we commit 55% of all violent crime in the U.S. What's going on with us? Instead of looking for some white guy that called black people the N-word. And again, majority of your racist problems in this country stem from black folks. Black folks don't like a lot of people, but they especially don't like white folks. And you want to make it seem like black folks are justified. Black folks are justified, for not liking whites. No, they're not. Again, you say they are, but they're not. Ain't no white folks doing anything to them. Quite the contrary. Again, you're 12 times more likely, if you're white, to be attacked by a black person than you are if you're black to be attacked by a white person. But again, Roland's never going to tell you that. He's never going to be honest with you. Why? Because Roland himself is evil. Again, you can't serve two masters. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks. You son of a